organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Rough weather across the nation. Will Iowa be affected?
And an update on a nasty 5-car pileup on Interstate 80.
Iowa softball made a run in the Big Ten tournament.
Find out more in sports.
All of that coming up soon.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Katie Sextro.
Charges are pending in a multi-car crash on I-80. Last Friday afternoon, 32 people were injured and 2 of them critically. The accident happened close to Williamsburg, a town about 30 miles west of Iowa City. A truck driver from Portland, Oregon rear-ended an Iowa woman's SUV, causing a chain reaction that ultimately involved 3 other vehicles, including a packed tour bus. The truck caught fire upon impact and spilled diesel fuel across the area, lighting the other crashed vehicles ablaze. Victims were transported to hospitals in Iowa City and Marengo. Most of those people have since been released, but a few of the most badly injured are still at the UI hospital. The Iowa State Patrol is continuing to investigate the crash.
2 police officers are dead in Hattiesburg, Mississippi after they were shot during a routine traffic stop late last night. Officer Benjamin Dean had won Officer of the Year in the past and was a father of 2. Officer LaCorey Tate had just graduated from Law Enforcement Academy last year. They were shot after pulling a vehicle over for speeding. They were taken to the hospital but later died from their injuries. 3 suspects are in custody. 2 are charged with capital murder and the 3rd as an accessory. Those suspects will be seen in court tomorrow. This marks the first time a Hattiesburg police officer has died in the line of duty in 3 decades.
The University of Iowa has worked diligently to address the issue of sexual assault on campus, but unfortunately, the problem still persists. A timely warning sent from the UI Department of Public Safety last night alerted the community to a sexual assault that took place in the early hours yesterday morning. A female student was sexually assaulted in a residence hall by an acquaintance. Details are scant at this point, but we'll be sure to tell you any updates as we get them.
Even though the semester is coming to a close, students still have to plan for the future. And for students planning on studying abroad, the University of Iowa has a resource center to help them get closer to their destination. Daily Iowan TV's Sarah Halper has more.
Many students come to college knowing they want to study abroad, while others are not so certain. Because of this, the University of Iowa has a resource center located in the Old Capitol Mall that is available for students to visit and search through the many different programs they have to offer. Last year, 801 University of Iowa students studied abroad, representing over 70 different majors. Once the student has narrowed down their abroad location, they then meet with an advisor to further the process. Iowa offers approximately 75 study abroad programs scattered across the world, not including Antarctica. One of the great things about Iowa's study abroad program is that if you cannot find a program suitable for yourself, they will allow you to participate in another university's program or even a foreign university.
Well, I want to study abroad because I love to travel and I want to be adventurous and experience life while I can, and this has always been a part of the plan for me to study abroad.
The university will work with any student to make their dream of studying abroad a reality, but it is not all the university's job. The student also needs to make sure he or she is on top of their schedule and plans out their abroad experience accordingly. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Sarah Halper.
That's quite interesting. Now, where would your top destination to study abroad be, Tanner?
Well, I never got the chance to study abroad, but I really would like to go to Ireland or Spain or some place like that.
That would be cool. Well, it's been a stormy Mother's Day weekend so far for some parts of the country. Earlier, Tropical Storm Anna made landfall in South Carolina with winds as high as 45 miles per hour. That storm will continue to move north. Yesterday, Hawaii's Big Island was rocked by a magnitude 4.5 earthquake. And tornadoes hit Texas yesterday and South Dakota today, causing damage and injury.
We'll send things over to Suen Wang in the weather studio. Suen, will we have any tornadoes to worry about here in Iowa City?
There were tornado warnings issued for much of western Iowa earlier, but thankfully not for eastern Iowa. But we can expect to see an active rainy week ahead. Late this evening, another thunderstorm will roll in, and those clouds will stick around for much of the week ahead. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day off at about 60 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies will stick around as we head into afternoon, and our temp won't see much change. Expect a high of 60 degrees and a night as well. As we take a look at the rest of the week, we'll have a sunny Wednesday with a high of 70 degrees. Next Thursday through Saturday, storms are likely. Umbrellas are going to be a must this week. Check back tomorrow for more on the storm chances. That's all I have for you in the weather studio. Back to you two at the desk.
Still ahead on Daily Iowan TV.
Find out why some UI professors are angry about the size of their paycheck.
And Kinnick Stadium goes Hollywood this summer.
The Johnson County Board of Supervisors is reaching beyond Johnson County to make a change on the national level. The board issued a resolution Thursday in support for an amendment to the U.S. Constitution that would place limits and regulations on campaign contributions. Specifically, the amendment would remove the natural-born citizen label from corporations, meaning corporations would no longer be considered people. Supervisor Rod Sullivan voted in favor of the resolution, but acknowledged that it is very difficult to make a change to the U.S. Constitution.
Is your favorite UI professor a tenured faculty member or an adjunct faculty member? It can be kind of hard to tell until you take a look at their paycheck. Daily Iowan TV's Cassandra Santiago takes a closer look at how hard it can be for adjunct faculty members to make a living.
About 1/3 of University of Iowa employees identify as adjunct. Adjuncts are temporary, part-time, and not entitled to any health benefits. Their duties range from teaching support, patient care, or clinical and practicum supervision. But even a 20-hour work week can become a hassle, preventing adjuncts from having the time and energy for additional jobs.
I'm reading and grading thousands of words every week, and creating an entire curriculum from scratch, as well as doing a 2-hour lecture.
Iowa adjunct members earn between $4,000 to $7,000 per course. In comparison, a typical fast food worker makes about $19,000 per year. This means that most adjuncts must teach a minimum of 3 classes per year to earn what a fast food worker does. Keep in mind that many adjuncts are PhDs and have master's degrees, whereas most fast food places only require a high school diploma.
So we're now on a point of just not even getting by, of just living hand to mouth and wondering how we're going to get by next month. You know, what are we going to do? There's $100 in checking right now, and there's $500 in bills.
In April 2015, adjuncts and supporters stopped wondering and instead took action. They marched to the UI President's office in Jessup Hall to deliver a petition. Their demands include $15,000 per course taught, job security, and the ability to organize.
We're asking for a living wage, and we're asking for benefits to ensure that should I get hit by a bus, I'm not going to end up, living on the street because I can't afford medical treatment.
31% of part-time faculty in Iowa live near or below the poverty line. Meanwhile, adjuncts wait for a final decision, which one adjunct says may be a long road ahead. Cassandra Santiago, Daily Iowan TV.
Deflategate, the accusation that the New England Patriots use footballs not inflated to the NFL's standard in their Super Bowl win, has reared its head again. A report found that it is probable that the team deflated the balls on purpose and that star quarterback Tom Brady knew about the scheme. Some in the media are claiming that Brady will be suspended, while others say he might not be. But the bookies seem to think Brady will be sitting out a few games. The offshore gambling site Bovado offered bets on Friday on whether or not Brady will be suspended, and the odds aren't in Brady's favor. The NFL will announce its decision this week. Well, it'll be very interesting to see how the NFL handles this really touchy subject.
Yeah, lots of people on both sides of the debate. To talk more sports, let's toss it over to our sports studio where Danny Payne and Nicole Ray are standing by. Guys?
Now, Nicole wouldn't be surprised, to see Tom Brady get maybe a game or two or a fine. We'll see.
I agree, yep.
Lots of different sports to get to, as one golfer had quite the experience at the Big Ten tournament.
But first, we start with baseball. The Hawkeyes welcomed the Minnesota Golden Gophers to town for a 3-game series. The Hawks took Game 1 on Friday by the score of 7-3. Laura Belanda was at Saturday's game and has the recap. Laura?
The Iowa baseball team has clinched their 8th Big Ten Series win. Ranked 15th, Heller's squad holds a record of 36-12 overall. The Hawkeyes came ready to play as the offense scored 8 runs in just the first 2 innings alone. Junior Blake Hickman took down the Gophers, shutting them out in the first 3 innings. Hickman is now 8-1 on the season with 5 strikeouts after Saturday. Minnesota's first 2 hits in the 4th came with 1 run. The score now 8-1. At the bottom of the fourth, the Hawks broke into double digits with a 10-1 lead after Chris Goodman stole home. The last run for Minnesota didn't come until the top of the eighth when number 6 Brandon Sholista stepped in to pitch. The final score on the day, 10-2. This has been Laura Belanda with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks, Laura. The Hawkeyes just recorded their 4th Big Ten sweep of the season after beating Minnesota 7-1 in the 3rd game of the series.
The Iowa softball team had quite the weekend in Columbus, Ohio for the Big Ten tournament.
Coming into the tournament, the Hawkeyes were the 10th seed after having somewhat of a disappointing regular season. The team went on to mount back-to-back upset wins against number 7 Rutgers and number 2 Minnesota. The Hawkeyes overcame a 3-run deficit against the 7-seeded Scarlet Knights from Rutgers to go on and win that game.
The Hawkeyes then took on the nationally ranked Golden Gophers after being already swept by Minnesota during regular season play. After a 2-run double by junior Holly Hoffman, the Hawkeyes got the lead 2-0. Shayla Starkenberg allowed 2 hits and struck out 4 to secure the 2-0 win.
The Hawks then fell in the semifinals to 3rd-seeded Nebraska by the score of 9-6. It was also the last game of the year for the lone senior at shortstop, Megan Blank. Blank will not be forgotten in the Hawkeye record books as the Culver City, California native ranks in the top 10 in 10 different statistical categories and is the school's record holder in career doubles.
Sophomore golfer Carson Shackey became the 2nd Hawkeye in history to take the title of Big Ten champion. Daily Iowan sports reporter Taylor Mathis caught up with the champ to find out what his experience was like.
Last weekend at Victoria National Golf Club, sophomore Carson Shackey shined. It was a career-defining weekend for Shackey as he recorded the best 18-hole score of his career.
I seem to prepare the same. You're just kind of working on things that you needed to improve on from the last tournament.
Heading into Sunday's final round, Shackey was in 3rd place individually, trailing Illinois' Nick Hardy by 3 strokes. It came down to the final hole of the tournament, where both were sitting at 5 under par. Both bogeyed hole 18 and shared medalist honors with a 72-hole total of 284.
It was my first tournament that I've won here as a Hawkeye. And for it to be at the Big Ten Championships, it was amazing. I was happy to have my whole entire family there. I had my grandparents and both my brothers and my parents and a lot of Hawkeye fans, so it was really special.
Carson is the first Hawkeye to take home a medal since the Boilermaker Invitation in 2014. Shackey and the Hawkeyes also earned a bid to the Yale Regional.
Looking forward to seeing where we're going to get placed, and we kind of low-key really wanted to go to Yale, and for us to get that regional is really exciting.
Shackey and the rest of the Hawkeyes will continue to prepare for the Yale Regional that takes place May 14th through the 16th. This is Taylor Mathis for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Yale Regional is set to start up for the team this Friday and then conclude with the final round on Sunday.
That will do it for us here in the sports studio. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we will give you a full recap of today's Iowa baseball game.
Our whip-around crew will also be in action to catch you up on all Hawkeye athletics.
Tanner and Katie, back to you.
Well, speaking of sports, Kinnick Stadium is usually host to Iowa football games, but this summer it will be turned into a movie studio for a night.
Hawkeye fans voted online to determine which movie will be shown on Saturday, June 27th at Kinnick. The choices were Remember the Titans, Field of Dreams, or Big Hero 6. The winner will be announced tomorrow. Now, Tanner, which movie would you choose?
Well, I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan, but I think you got to go with football. Remember the Titans all the way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that'll do it for us tonight, but before we go, we here at Daily Iowan TV want to extend a happy Mother's Day to all the moms and grandmas out there.
Don't forget the moms-to-be. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Katie Sextro. Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.